Jerry Jeudy last year, 113 targets, but 52 receptions on those targets. That's a 46% catch rate. That is...
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
Maybe the greatest catch I've ever seen.
46% catch rate for Jerry Jeudy. Obviously, not all of his fault, but certainly there were a lot that were his fault. A lot of drops, a lot of high-profile drops, too, for Jerry Jeudy. 856 yards, just 3 touchdowns. What you have to love about reception perception is that it quantifies how much is on the quarterback and how much is on the player. And I think that's a big question. I think a lot of Bronco fans are going to have, a lot of Jerry Jeudy fans are going to have, a lot of fantasy fans are going to have regarding Jerry Jeudy. How much was him, Matt Harmon? How much was the quarterback in Drew Lock, who in a number of metrics, and I'll get this in just a moment, but how much of it was Drew Lock, who, again, in a number of metrics was the worst starting quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, no, I believe Jerry Jeudy is actually one of the league leaders in terms of like uncatchable deep passes from last year too. So there's definitely some of that in the catch rate there, which is why we do reception perception, of course.
I mentioned Drew Lock last year. Again, a number of metrics, possibly the worst starting quarterback in football. He had the worst passer rating versus the blitz, which obviously kind of ties into the whole pressure stat as well. But he was bottom 5 on deep passes. He had the second worst passer rating on throws outside the numbers. So an overall 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Worst passer rating while under pressure. He had a 25 passer rating while under pressure. That is
one.
No. I think league average is somewhere like around like 70.
Jerry Jeudy was awesome as a separator. There's no question about that. It was interesting too because they used him in several different roles. Like he kind of started the year off as more of a slot receiver. And then as the year went on, they pushed him more outside. That Chargers game in particular, towards the end of the year, he dropped a ton of passes there, lost some contested situations, and it clearly like he was pissed at himself after every single one. Jerry Jeudy, 87th percentile against man coverage. He was, again, just an awesome separator. You knew he was going to be that guy. 75th percentile against press coverage. Like those are strong scores for a rookie receiver. But I also think that was kind of why they started to move him outside a little more. And I think that's probably the better fit for him. Like get him open quickly on slant routes on the outside so that he's not, kind of working through the trash of zone coverage over the middle, but like get him lined up one-on-one with the corner across from him, get him that release. He can do that really well. I really think that I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, and again, I do think he fits better as an outside receiver. He won deep, he won intermediate, and he won short. There's still some work that he has to do as a player, but I'm definitely buying back in on Jerry Jeudy. Like I want to be ahead. It's just tough with the Denver Broncos quarterback situation, but also Teddy Bridgewater, I think stylistically, Jerry Judy's a fit for him. The way he separates on slant routes, the way he gets open quickly. I think that's a pretty good fit for a player like Teddy Bridgewater. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Noah Fant. Would you take those guys? Tim Patrick. Like people forget about Tim Patrick, but he's good. I think he's like legit good. At least
agree.
Like one of the best 3-4 receivers in the NFL. So would you take those guys, that collection of talents, or DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, and Mike Davis / Christian McCaffrey?
If Teddy Bridgewater has that collection of guys, I mean, it could be a pretty nice season, I think, for that Broncos offense.